Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone. This is NuWhoZone, and it's a brand new week. Yeah, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll find out at the end of the week, won't we? Anyway, welcome. I hope you all had a great weekend. Um, Mine was interesting, let's just say, and leave it at that. But yeah, wasn't a great weekend if you follow Manchester United, but we won't get into that. Anyway, we got our couple of our guests on joining us as usual. It's the girl who died. Yeah, Moffat always had a thing with, you had the girl who waited. Now you had the girl who died, and I think he had another one as well somewhere with girl. Oh, girl in the fireplace. He has a thing for the girl. Anyway, let's bring on our panelists and see who's joining us this evening. We got the one and only Queen Charlotte.
I was going to say you forgot the impossible girl.
Oh yeah, the impossible girl. Yeah. He has a thing for the girl. Anyway, our next guest is PD Rich.
Hey,
Hello.
Hello, PD.
I
hey.
have sent Lee an email, but the way it's going now, it's just whenever he wants to come on because Twitter
Okay.
is giving him a hard time. So if he turns up, he turns up. If he doesn't, we'll just carry on as usual anyway.
He
But we're
needs to
here
take a
for the
break from social media. That's all I'm
girl
saying.
yeah, he needs to stay off it. The girl who died. Anyway, so I remember when this came out, I wasn't a huge fan. So I haven't
Wasn't bad.
watched it since it aired, believe it or not. Actually, no, because we've watched season 9 a couple of times, yeah. So but yeah, this is an episode that I'm not really particularly a fan of, but again, like some of the stories that we've went through with all the doctors, we've been surprised at how good some of these actually were, and maybe we were a little bit harsh back in the day, or maybe it's got to do with the fact that we got rubbish for 5 years and everything just looks brilliant. But either way, we still are enjoying these stories, so that has to be said. So there's nobody in the chat at the moment, you know. So we'll just go and then see who pops in. We'll be finishing these after Series 10 anyway, so yeah. And we'll replace it with something else. We'll see. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. As nobody is in the chat, we might as well just go ahead. But Queen Charlotte, if you want to do the honors and still do the countdown anyway.
Yeah. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Breathing.
Yeah, heavy breathing. Eyeball. We got an eyeball, folks. 2 eyeballs. Upside down eyeballs.
Yeah, Moffat liked to do this also. This is another little thing of his, like, start mid-action in the middle of something happening.
You know what I do now? Go, bye!
Yeah, that night, Clara. What though?
Such
She
a
does
Rick and
look good
Morty
in that
beginning.
spacesuit. She does pull it off quite well.
Yeah. So Rick and Morty.
It is a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. You can see where I got it from.
To be fair, this whole episode has got that quality of it was written a bit on acid. It's just like...
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. She's Mrs. Doom and Gloom, that one.
Oh, I know. Debbie Downer, Clara.
Oh, trust me, I forgot we've got one of the most infamous lines in this episode
Oh,
coming up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jesus, you had to remind us, didn't you?
Yeah, so she gets a lot worse.
So look out tomorrow for the announcement for Classic Who Zone episode announcement tomorrow. The King King has done some more audio and I've put some shit together, and it's actually I'm actually chuffed with myself because I had to literally get 5 different Doctor Who trailers for the story that we're doing without giving anything away. And then I had to take pieces out of each trailer that I wanted, edit it all together to coincide with the audio that the thinking. It like literally took me 7 hours to do.
Oh,
Yeah, that's editing for you.
So yeah, and it's the first time that I've tried my hand at it. So I'll get better as I go
Yeah,
along.
you
But I
will.
have to be honest, I've been pretty impressed with me work. I'm not bragging. I've done another one as well for another announcement that I'm going to be making as well, which is already done, finished and uploaded. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed. Turned out pretty well.
Well, there goes the sunglasses.
Yep.
We've got 2. We've got a short Classic Who announcement, which is 14 seconds long, but it's the one that's over a minute long is the one that I put most of the editing work into it, and you will see it. I'm being honest, man. It was a pain in the ass, but
You did
once
it.
I got it all together and I knew it worked well, I was really chuffed with the results. So I can't wait for you to see it because I'm not good at editing trailers. You can give me your feedback, by the way, good or bad. It's the only way I'll learn. Anyway, there she is.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like a good positive so far. It looks really good as like a Viking
Yeah.
I
village.
love the Vikings. I love
It
the Vikings.
look
Should
really-
do more Vikings.
I'm surprised who didn't do more of them in New Who yet, because I
Yeah.
can only think of there's this story. There's one other Peter Capaldi one, which I think is Vikings. With Bill, I could be slightly wrong, but I think it's Vikings, or it could be Romans.
Oh, it's a Roman one next season.
Oh, am I thinking of that one? So they're not
The
Vikings.
Lost Legion.
Yeah. No, but they make this look really good as a little village.
Yeah.
And like all the costumes look really nice. They look authentic.
Yeah. It's done well this episode. Visually.
Actually, in reality, did he say that Vikings didn't actually have horns on their helmets?
No,
Yep.
that's like become a westernized thing
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we've just made up.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
make them more menacing. Even though, they were menacing enough, but like, let's make them more menacing.
Yeah.
I think it's more like if you actually look at, like I said, and this is why I'd love Doctor Who to go back into Vikings for something. They were actually really complex people. They weren't just warriors, but that's what all we pushed for the last God knows how many years about them.
It's the same with the Klingons in Star Trek. Everyone keeps thinking they're all warrior. Then you meet up poets and lawyers and stuff like that, and it's completely
But it's
different.
not just. But it's not even that. Like this is what I liked about The Last Kingdom on Netflix because they did focus on this. There was a massive spiritual element, massive spiritual element to them, with their not just their gods, like how they saw the land and their place in it. It was proper robust system they had.
Now I'm going to tell you what movies are good and bad.
Trying to work a yo-yo is fucking the funniest thing ever.
It's a very Doctor thing, though. It's like this will impress them.
Yeah.
Hello, Chris. Thank you for popping in.
Hey, Chris.
Virgil.
Nice to see you. It's at least there's someone in the chat now we can interact with.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anybody likes these anymore, but we'll complete it like we said we would, and that's what we'll do. We've
Yeah.
only got one more season to go, so
Yeah, I was going to say, we might as well finish them.
we will finish, but
Yeah.
I remember all the stick I got for getting rid of them. Like, you know what I mean? That's what kind of annoys me is everybody was giving me stick, then
Yeah.
nobody turns up anymore. Like, in
Yeah.
fairness, we do get viewers after the fact, but not as many as we used to for those ones. The other streams seem to be doing well. The classic ones are doing well. They're picking up again. I think everybody likes the new format.
Yeah, I think it's a good format we've got with classic stuff.
Well, it is, and it's not only that, it's less time on stream as well. Whereas we were doing it the old way, we'd be on stream, nearly 3 or 4 hours sometimes, and that's too long. It is. It's for everybody because people have lives as well, you know?
Yeah. Oh, new Planet of the Apes movie's been announced.
Well, new Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
What is it? A continuation of the original storyline?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yep.
But is it a continuation of the new movie?
It looks like it.
Do you know what? Those new movies, the first one was brilliant, right? Second one was okay, but like those Planet of the Apes movies are decent. Like I think they're better than the Mark Wahlberg one years ago.
Yeah.
But I do have a soft spot for that movie for some weird reason. It's awful, but I just have a soft spot for it.
Yeah.
I love the end of that movie, and it was just a pity that we never got the sequel because the end of that Planet of the Apes movie with Mark Wahlberg was actually very good.
It's insane, wasn't it?
And I like this bit that he's using the whole "you've been called to Valhalla, you're the best warriors." It's a clever way to trick them.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's commenting on their whole religious belief and sort of showing just how important a warrior image was. Like it wasn't, like I said, it was important to them, but it's just become all that people know about them. But it was still quite important.
We probably do have a few lurkers. I don't mind if they're watching and they're actually enjoying, you know, or if they're waiting for me to say something controversial. You won't hear me say anything controversial during these streams anyway.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't really say anything controversial. All I've ever told is, well, I hate using that word "my truth" because, like, it's not my truth. It's what I see with my eyes, you know. And fair enough, some people don't like the way I deliver me criticism, but that's just the way I am. People have different styles. I'm blunt force trauma, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I'm a nice guy. That's the thing about it. Might be I can come across as a bit of a dickhead, right? And I can be one. Nobody's perfect, right? But I'm a nice bloke. I am. Ask anybody that knows me. Oh, yeah. Clara really kind of lost some mess to me.
Well, she don't matter to me, so that's fine.
Well, she became this very important.
Self-important.
I was going to say, just wait.
Self-important lapdog.
In fairness, I get in Modern Who, they want to give the female companions a bit more to do and not just have them as eye candy and stuff like that. And I agree. Companions should be given a lot more to do. But when they start becoming what Clara's character did, and you could clearly see that she wanted to be the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went from the usual admiring that companions have of the doctor to I want to have that lifestyle and I think I can do it just as good as you. And it's like, no, you're a human. You're not a Time Lord. And here's the thing, Jen, I can never say her name right, I feel terrible. She can play cocky well. Like, as in the Sandman show in Netflix, she played like a cocky Constantine, and it worked.
Yeah.
Because she was written better, and it was sort of, in that world, she was an expert. She did know a lot more than other people about supernatural because that was her whole family's legacy. So it made sense. Whereas here, like, she's just a human and she's talking like she's a higher
she had a
being.
lot more knowledge than just a primary school teacher. You know, again, Moffat, if you're going to write these characters, you know, you've got to write them properly. I mean, Rose, yeah, I criticize Rose's character because she was selfish and stuff. But you look at the way RTD wrote her, she worked in a shop, like. So
Yeah,
she
she had her faults as well.
So
like,
she
very
wasn't.
clearly.
She wasn't the cleverest tool in the box, but the one thing about Rose is she'd notice things. She was very good at noticing things, you know. And in fairness to her, in the first episode, she did save the doctor because she used to be a gymnast for some weird reason. She was a gymnast or something. But anyway, you know, it made sense.
Yeah.
She never went beyond her capabilities. Yeah, there'll be a point to argue that in the specials where she comes back with the TARDIS and she's talking all that gobbledygook, but if you actually look into it, she's only talking gobbledygook. She doesn't know exactly what she's saying. She even says, I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris has a comment, so we'll throw it up on screen because Chris is always here. I have to say, man. Sometimes when we used to do the movie streams, it'd just be me and Chris in the chat. He's always here when he can be.
Hey,
so
Chris.
Thank you, Chris. We really do appreciate it. Interesting that you said that, Charlie. Yes, Clara is human, but how much of her change was caused because she merged with the Doctor's time stream? How much of an impact did that have on her psyche? Exactly. That was never explored.
Yeah.
That was never really explored, and that would have made sense for her all of a sudden having more knowledge, if you know what I mean, than she originally had.
But the thing is, from my memory, she wasn't as bad with Matt. She was nowhere near as bad with Matt. But she still had that sort of controlling a little bit tendency. You were starting to see a little bit of it. But obviously it was downplayed a lot more and it wasn't so much in the forefront.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a great little actress as well. I hope one day. I
she's
know
good
probably
in this,
won't
Maisie.
happen.
She's good in this.
But I hope one day she gets, because Doctor Who is a big show. I would love her to be a companion in the future before, you know, she becomes too famous, because she's doing a lot of stuff.
But she's not had a big hit since Game of Thrones.
No,
she's done like a lot of little things.
Yeah, she did a show on Sky One, which was funny. What I was telling you about last week, where Mother Shields are from the world, and she doesn't know anything about the outside world because her mother is a bit of a nut or something like that. I'll try actually while we're here, I'll Google the name of that show because I'm gonna watch it again because it was very good.
No, to be fair, in this episode I quite liked her.
She's great in it. And even when she returned, do you remember she returned later on? She was brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't like her then.
Did you not?
This version I quite like because she's sort of wide-eyed, still has got wanting to sort of see the universe a bit with her, but she's downplaying it. It's the snark. Like I said, for me, I don't know if it's a me thing. There's a certain type of snarky female that I just can't stand, and she became that when she came back. Once she's been around for thousands of years.
The show is called 2 Weeks to Live. So 2 Weeks to Live. If you want to check it out, Maisie is in that, right?
I mean, even though it's her.
Go on.
I said, even though it's her character's fault that the whole battle happens, you still can't really hate her for that. You can understand why she burst out with what she did.
Throwback to Matt Smith's era.
Oh, and what throwback I'm trying to work?
Stormageddon. Start speaking to
Oh,
baby.
yeah. See, I like this throwback. It makes sense. It actually had a plot reason this time. It wasn't just a cute little, oh, he can speak, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, this doctor seemed to be reluctant to get involved in certain situations until his hand was forced. It was the same with the moon, the egg turn. That fucking stupid thing.
Oh,
but
God.
that episode, like, he even refused there to help.
I think it's not a reluctance. I think that this doctor would, but this doctor's just a hell of a lot more aware of the consequences. He's a lot more.
Than the other doctor, Matt's doctor, say anyway, because Matt's doctor was
he didn't
a
care.
bit reckless. He was reckless.
Yeah, like the other doctors were a lot more reckless. Peter's doctor was a lot more cautious.
Yeah, so was Christopher Eccleston's doctor, and then he gave in to Rose for Father's Day, and then, like, you know, he has a fit because he fell for it again. I mean, if you tell someone you have a time machine, I don't care who you are.
Yeah, right? Especially if you've lost a family member, you're going to use it to do that.
If you're going to use it to go back and see your, of course you are. Of course you are.
Yeah, that's why. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the occasions I can't really have a go at Rose because, yeah, of course, everybody would do that in her position.
I know, because she's literally standing there watching her father die. I mean, you couldn't do that. You couldn't. No. And I know the doctor gave out to her, but he did understand, because then, even after the fact, even though she tore the fabric of time, like, he knew how to fix the issue, but he really liked Rose so much that he didn't want her to go through that pain of losing her father again. So he came up with a different idea, and then obviously that went to the wayside, and then Pete Tyler, the dad of the year, realised what he had to do. And I like Pete Tyler. Love Pete Tyler.
I liked him and Jackie. I really loved those scenes when you actually saw them interact with each other.
I know.
Because to me, it came across as a realistic couple. Because that, like, on Teleland,
they did.
Like, couples don't fall out. Like, they never do. Well, some do, but it's like everything's a bit more rosy, whereas real life couples, that happens.
Whereas they had their flaws. They were literally having arguments and would make up, and that's a proper,
Jackie would just, like, lay into him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, that's a realistic marriage. Like, you could tell she still adored him.
Yeah, of course, you hopeless lump, but I still love you. Like, you know, I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love the dynamics. Doctor Who under RTD and Stephen Moffat to a certain extent. The certain characters that they developed through the show are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Jackie had less screen time than Yasmin Khan, right? Just want to make this point.
Yes.
And Jackie was a well-developed character. We knew everything about her life. We knew that she'd lost Pete.
I think that's because it comes across, and I think Moffat also did this. I think they really did base certain characters off either people they knew or situations they were familiar with.
Yeah.
That's how they made their characters, I think.
Oh, did you hear about Flux recently?
Yeah. I think we spoke. Did we speak about it on Friday? Yeah, we did. We spoke about it on Friday on the TARDIS Talks with Christian. Yeah.
No, but
So he's finally admitted, look, all I'm just going to say is this, right? And then I'll let Charlie, you can say what you want to say, right? But this is my thing, right? I just need to turn this down because I can't hear this and talk at the same time today for some weird reason. It's one of those days. Anyway, here's the thing. He's at the going now and confirming that Flux was going to be axed, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, right? I told people from the start on this channel, Chaos in Cardiff happened, right?
Yeah.
He ran off like the little bitch that he is because he wasn't getting his own way. After Series 11 failed, right? He's even openly admitted that they didn't put money into the advertising for Series 12, right?
Yeah.
They gave up after Series 11, right? He was going after Series 12, but he was persuaded to stay, give another crack at it. But they still lost, you know what I mean? They lost faith, but they
confidence.
Yeah, but they wanted to save face. So they said, look, just hang on. Just do another season. But look, we want you to do more familiar monsters and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And he had a hissy fit and he left and he stormed off. Chaos in Cardiff happened. Listen, this man is speaking now. And I'm starting to wonder why. And the only conclusion that I could come up with is that it's jealousy, because he spoke also about potential spin-offs that he had in the pipeline and all of this, right? And RTD is doing spin-offs. He seems to be jealous.
Yeah.
Now, again,
also,
I still haven't found those quotes that he was supposed to say, but if these quotes are on this podcast, which I think most of the quotes are actually coming from, so I'll have to
the recent ones are,
yeah. So I'll have to check, right? But if he has really said that he cast Jo Martin because she was black because he wanted diversity, and he cast Jodie Whittaker because he wanted a female doctor, then he has actually admitted to everything that we reported on over these last 5 years. Myself, Dan, Rabbi, every channel that we interacted with over the past 5 years reported on all of this. I was the first channel, and I can prove it. I was the first channel to fucking take up this whole Chaos in Cardiff thing, because no other channel out there at the time would even pick up on it, right? I even tried to get Gary interested in it, and he wasn't interested in it because he was busy with other stuff, which is fair enough, right? But I reported on it. I reported on the Tolson Cole video. I reported on Mandip Gill actually removing Time Traveler from an Instagram account and then putting it back on, right? I covered everything. There was even a going away party at the end of Series 12, which was filmed, and I threw up on me bleeding YouTube channel. I covered Chaos in Cardiff, and I had YouTubers out there, which I won't mention, right, who sent a mob after me and tried to have me channel taken down because they said I was lying. I was not lying. I was getting legit information. Chaos in Cardiff happened. He's singing like a fucking canary. I can't wait to hear what Maury has to say, because I feel that this man feels like he's being slighted in some way, which tells me he was sacked after Flux. He was sacked. He was gone. He was told he was out. He was supposed to stay for 5 seasons, right? It's always been this debate, was it 5 years or 5 seasons? I think, personally, it was the contract was signed, because remember we got this whole HBO Max announcement, and they showed the slate for Doctor Who over the next few years. Then all of a sudden it went real quiet after Series 11. Yeah, he was staying till Series 15, which would have actually brought him up to 5 series, but he's not. And I think it's sour grapes, and I think he is pissed that they've brought RTD back behind his back. Because remember, he even said in an interview when RTD was announced that he didn't know. He was just as surprised as everybody else. So look, he's singing like a canary. As far as I'm concerned, I've been vindicated on everything that I said. Now I know I'm going to be stupid when I say this, but I'm owed an apology out there by a lot of people, which I'll never get. But just sit up and take notice when I tell you I was getting legitimate information. Don't ever try to discredit me or say that I'm putting stuff out there just to rile the fans up or to ruffle a few feathers. I never have done that. Never have done that, and I never will do that. All I ever did was put out the information that I received. And you know what? I'm glad he's singing like a fucking canary. And I hope he continues to sing like a canary, because everything is going to come out. You're going to hear everything behind the scenes. Jodie Whittaker wanting to leave and all as well. You haven't even heard the half of it. You haven't even heard the half of it yet.
Well, no,
anyway, Charlotte,
what
go
I
ahead.
find funny is he's already said this about Flux being a bit, was it up in the air? Let's put it that way to be polite. He's already talked about this. So I find it a bit funny now that a load of people are talking about it.
I know, because we covered it here. I know.
In like,
listen, Charlotte, here's the thing. I've noticed something, right? I cover that. Like I cover a lot of other stuff, right? But the thing about it is, right, and this is not I'm not having a dig at anybody here, right? But say, for example, if Rabbi was covering that, or Dan from the Spacebook was covering that, it'd get a lot more coverage. But because it's me, because of the reputation that I have on social media, because I've been dragged through the mud by these kids, right? Nobody listens to me. But if people went back and watched all my videos, they'll see I've actually, everything that's coming out now, I've already spoke about on this channel. I've predicted a lot of stuff as well. I've even told people the biggest breaking news stories about Doctor Who will come out in the Mirror. What has the Mirror done the last couple of months? Broke story after story after story, right? I told you, I gave you all fucking clues left, right, and center. The newspapers to look out for. And I've been spot on every time. But, you know, as I said, if my reputation was a little bit better in this fandom, maybe people would sit up and
I know
take
what you
notice.
mean, but what I find funny is it wasn't like your source that told you this. He talked about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like a Doctor Who magazine thing, or I can't quite remember. But he basically admitted this already, that Flux, there's a reason it was reduced episode count, because it wasn't going to happen at one point.
Yeah.
But now he suddenly said it in a podcast.
Yeah. The thing about it is, though, he used COVID. He used COVID at the time.
Oh, he used it again.
Excuse.
Oh, yes. And then Jodie Whittaker came out talking about renewing contracts. Oh, it's just a procedure we're going through at the moment. I got to sign up for another year. Remember that?
No, when she signed her original contract, I want to make clear to people here, right? And again, you can go back and watch me all videos. When she signed on that dotted line, right? She signed initially for 3 series. If it goes well, she gets another 2, right? Again, 5 series plan, right? There was none of this after a year they renewed. But again, this was something that I spoke about after Series 11, that their contracts were being looked at and they had to renegotiate. And of course, I was called a liar.
Yeah.
They had to renegotiate their contracts because they spent all that money, right, on advertising Series 11, right? I mean, they spent all that money, right? And she was on a bleeding catwalk in everything in New York, right? She was at the Comic Cons all over, right? The biggest ones. They spent millions. She was on every magazine, even bleeding Big Issue, the homeless magazine, Big Issue.
Yeah.
She was even on that. I covered everything. She was the most covered doctor ever.
Yeah.
During Series 11. Was. Nobody can deny that. She was everywhere. We were getting sick and tired of it. We were like, you can't even bleed and switch on. And there she is. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
So when you spend all of that money and then the series comes out and it's not well received, but then the media BBC go into panic mode and they ring up, they get a few favors in from Radio Times and all the other shill articles, and they start pumping out all the, oh no, it's the bigots in the fandom that don't like it, but it's successful, look at the ratings and all of this.
Yeah.
Oh no, what they did is just they kept banging on about that first episode. That's all they could do.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. I'm all I just want to say is, like, you know, like the source, as I said, I always thank the sources, but like they have come through for me all the time, and I just report on what I'm given. But I mean, Jesus Christ, man, they've been so accurate. It's unbelievable. And yet there's other bigger YouTubers out there praised for lying for the fandom the last 7 years. Like, it's actually a joke the way this whole dynamic goes. You think the honest people, the people that are honest with their reporting, are the ones that will do well, but it's not. It's all the con artists, and it's actually does upset me a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, because it's not fair. But you know what? I still have my audience. I still have people that believe in me and have had faith in me from day one.
Yeah.
And they know I haven't let them down. So once that doesn't change, I'm fine. You know what? It is what it is. It would be nice for these people to acknowledge that I was right, but it'll never happen. So
I know.
As I said, if it was a bigger YouTuber, and I just mentioned those for an example, I could have mentioned Gary or even Ballstrek when he was back. If they hadn't reported on it, it'd get a lot more traction. But because it was me and because there was such a hate campaign against me, and I put out, you had YouTubers doing 3 or 4 videos a day when I put a video out.
Yeah.
So it's just a pity they don't have that vigor when it comes to going after people that are putting out false information right now, this second, about Doctor Who.
Where does it get them,
isn't
Noel? Like, where does it get them? For 5 years down the road, they get called absolute fakes. That's why I just don't know some of these YouTubers. It's like instant gratification, isn't it? 5-minute fame.
Yeah, well,
it's like, don't you want to build a channel that lasts for about 15 to 20 years instead of one that lasts for 3 to 5 years by lying your head off?
Well, that's it. I mean, look, we've worked hard on this channel to get where we are, and I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the subscribers that we have. I mean, I never thought I'd get past 1,000, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
We're now on over 2,000, which is mind blowing. But it would have been a lot more if the early days, if I wasn't being attacked all the time, because
Yeah. But look at Russell Brand lately, what he said.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He's left wing and everyone's calling him far right. It's like, it's just the way things are going.
Yeah, he's a bit of an idiot, but he talks sense sometimes. Oh, I love this.
There's some good wittiness into this episode.
Yeah.
It was good the way
very good lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to say to you, PD, I've got a theory. Do you know the villager who's a bit taller and quite heavy set?
Yeah.
The fella who gets his leg cut with the sword.
What, Lofty?
Yeah, Corsies are always welcome here.
I swear he's in Witcher 3 game. I swear that voice.
He's been in quite a few things. There's quite a few films and stuff.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the old Witcher, though. I'm hearing stuff and even the original.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, even the original creators come out and basically said he's siding with Henry on this one. So.
Yeah.
If the original creator of the thing is saying, "No, this is shite," you gotta listen, but they won't listen. They only want to go one direction.
I know. Into the
the current rumor with that, to put it short, is they're going to film up to season 5. Sorry, they're going to film 4 and 5 back to back. Is the current rumor, and apparently, if any people who know how Netflix film things, everybody who sort of knows a bit has said that's a sign it's not going to go beyond season 5.
Yeah.
Nah, it's done. It's done. If they're filming back to back, that means they're done. It is.
That's what I thought.
It'll be done, and rightly so. Listen. This is the problem I have with streaming apps as well. Because we've already spoke too long about the other stuff, and I didn't mean to. Sorry, but the problem is that a lot of these Netflix have done shows, right? And then they'll cancel them.
Yeah,
right?
they cancel the wrong things and keep the
Right,
wrong
and then
things
they
going.
do some crap shows that get absolutely obliterated by everybody, and they keep them going for 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons. Like, if Netflix wants to succeed now in this environment, because they're in a bit of trouble, they need to be listening, and they need to be pushing content that people actually want, not content that they want to force on people.
We'll see if this back-to-back filming comes true, because obviously it's rumor. But if you're, like you said, if they announce that we're going to film back-to-back, people will very quickly be expecting an announcement for it's going to end with season 5.
Yeah.
Something
else is ending in season 5 as well, isn't it?
What?
Something else is ending in season 5 as well, isn't it?
Yes, Cobra Kai is ending too.
No, that's good.
No, Discovery.
Yes. Oh.
Discovery's gone. Cobra Kai is gone.
Yeah.
The writers announced that there'll be one more season, and then it's done.
But at least that will be going out on a high.
Yeah, well, but there was rumor again that Netflix actually pulled the plug on it, and the writer came out and said, because I follow him, and he goes, "No, that's not true. We always had a plan, to go a certain amount of seasons, and we believe that the last season that we'll give you it will be the best one yet, and go out on a high." And I actually do agree. I love when shows do go out on a high like that. We will miss it, and some people will say, "I wish it was still on." But is this the line?
So that's the face bit. This is why he chose his
face. No, we've gone way past the Clara line, where she says,
it's a good bit of the episode,
where she says to the villain about testosterone and how the world's full of it.
Yeah. David Tennant flashback.
No, I forgot about this.
This is a good bit. The episode's
this is a good bit, yeah.
Oh, the music, my favorite bit of music,
and Peter's acting his absolute socks off here.
That's his best bit of the episode.
He's absolutely putting in a game.
Yeah.
To hold me to the mark.
This is the whole of the story of season 8 all coming into one now.
Yeah, but I like this idea because Who has at this point, very, to me anyway, established, especially by this point in Capaldi's run, that the Doctor has a bit of control over the regeneration. There's something that he can steer it a bit, not completely, but he can steer it a bit. So this, for me, is almost a confirmation of that. That he chose this face for a reason. It was to remind him.
Yeah. So you say 10 to a woman over Missy.
Well, that's like I said, without going. Well, to be fair, right, without going to a massive tangent about it, that was my explanation for why we got female Doctor, which actually made sense in the lore. Because for me, it would make sense that Missy, his last thoughts were that Missy went bad again. She didn't stand by his side. She went back to being horrible and evil. So I was like, we know the Doctor has like this. This is one of the best examples this episode. He has that bit of control. So could the Doctor basically, with his last thoughts being, Missy couldn't be a good Time Lord. I'm going to be a good female Time Lord to basically make up for what Missy couldn't do. And for me, that was the best explanation they could have used for the female Doctor, but they didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Use Missy, it was perfect, but no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Daniel, and you're already my therapist. What do you mean you're going to become my therapist? Especially when I have to watch season 3 of Witcher because Henry's in it.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that here he gave her that, and then he gave her the other one, and he didn't know what the consequence would be of that, and then we actually get to see what the consequence was later on. That's the beauty of some Stephen Moffat
Well,
stories.
Yeah.
I think he gave him. Sorry, he gave her that extra patch because of another character that he's come across in his travels. I think Jack is the reason he gave her that second patch.
I think it's Jack Harkness.
Well, no, more to do with he saw how lonely and how miserable Jack was.
Yeah.
So I think he wanted to give her a companion because he knew that if you're left alone with immortality like Jack was, it wrecks your head.
Yeah.
Because he's essentially creating another Jack here.
Yeah.
On purpose. Rose didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah.
She was just consumed by the TARDIS. She didn't know it would make him immortal. He knows fully what he's doing here.
Yeah.
So it's like a bit of a... I've seen this before. I'll give you a bit of a heads up, a bit of extra advantage.
Yeah.
He's angry because he keeps losing people. That's the thing with this Doctor.
And that as well, yeah.
Do love the Roundels being back though.
Yeah, I did like them in the. I do like Peter's TARDIS though.
I prefer the season 9 version to season 8.
Yeah, I liked it when he sort of. Yeah, I liked it when he started to add like bookshelves and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it suited his TARDIS and his Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, TARDIS, trust me, if it never would have happened, I'd be very, very happy with the whole gender thing, but at least I could make up an in-canon reason.
Yeah.
Which is more than what Chibnall did.
Yeah. Well, Chibnall just wanted to play with everybody else's toys, didn't he, really?
Yeah. Like, his way to explain it was, oh, I'm going to go in the past and completely rewrite the history. Well done, idiot.
No.
Like I said, there was a simple one you could have used that didn't involve mucking about with the origin.
Yeah.
But you see, there's the consequence, because you think by, everybody around her has died, so like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He had that very frank conversation with Jack, when Jack basically was like, yeah, it's been a curse, really, this immortality. I've not enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what's next week. Does it show us? Do. Come on, hurry up and show me what's on next week.
I was going to say, I can't remember if it carries on this or if it's a break and then we carry it on.
Next time. Okay. She changed her name to Me in this one, didn't she, or something?
Yeah, she became Me.
Okay. Right. I don't know if that is actually the next episode. I'm pretty sure it is, actually.
Yeah. It goes into the future, doesn't it?
So, yeah, consequences. See? Consequences. That's what happens. That's what happens when you mess around with stuff. Yeah, it is the next episode. Okay. Right. So, we've got, it's really a two-parter. Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we won't have to rate it this week then. So,
no. Rate next week if you want.
Brilliant. Yeah, you still have to rate it. Oh, yeah, I've got to rate the TARDIS interior. Okay, you can rate the TARDIS interior if you want. Yeah. But yeah, obviously, we're not going to rate this. So I mean, if you just want to just give a few brief words, because I mean, like next week we're going to do the two as a review, and then the rating. So if you just want to add something, or do you just want to leave it till next week, and we'll save our thoughts till then.
I can give a few very quick stuff.
Yeah, if you
going
want to
into
give a
my-
quick few bullet points, same with you, PD, go ahead, yeah.
Like I said, lovely, like set in like the sets and the costumes, and you really get that vibe of Victorian Viking England and sort of the little village. I find it quite good that they actually focused on a village of normal people, not the sort of warriors that you just think initially for Vikings. Capaldi gives one of his, once again, I think every episode he's getting a bit better. He's getting more comfortable with his doctor, and he's just giving amazing performances. All I will say, and I'll go more into this next week, I am a little bit torn about the doctor doing what he did because of past events in his life. That there's one half of me completely understands and can see him doing what he did with her and making her immortal. And then another half of me, because of Jack, and I'll go more into that next week.
Yeah.
And because of Time Lord Victorious with Tennant, makes me think, no, he really should have known better. And he probably wouldn't have done this, but I can talk more next week about that. So yeah, those are my short bullet points.
Fantastic. PD.
Yeah, it's got elements for a very good episode, but I just, the scenery is absolutely brilliant. I have to say that.
It is.
Scenery is brilliant. Everything looks good.
Costumes are great as well.
Yeah, it's they spent a few quid doing it.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a bit Robots of Sherwood in some places. I thought, oh, you know what I mean? One of those stories.
Cheryl, I think, likes that.
I know.
I know we watched it again recently, didn't we? And I said it was better than I remember, but I still...
Yeah. It just felt like a bit like Robots of Sherwood Viking edition to me, if you know what I mean. It's like, it's kind of covering the same ground again, but with a different race, if you know what I mean. So the thing I didn't like about it, but I love the bit where he realizes why he regenerated into Peter Capaldi. I think that's the best bit of the episode.
So, that scene is brilliant, man.
That's amazing. We get the Tennant flashback and all that, and he realizes why he did it.
Because that was the benchmark. Because we basically said that's why. Because remember, he refused originally to save that family. Yeah. And then he went back and saved the family. And then that's why he chose Peter's face. He chose that face because that was the big, always save someone. You know, as Donna said, just someone.
Yeah.
You know, just save someone. That's the whole point of saving a shielder there.
Yeah.
Just save someone. He got angry again, let emotion get the better of him.
Yeah.
And then did what he did. And as Charlotte said, we will get into the consequences of it and the fact that he's done this before and it's had consequences. So we will get into that. But I see someone's already rated it 8 out of 10. But it's a two-parter. But if you want to give it now, you can. But go on, PD. You finish up there.
I didn't really like the robot character, the alien characters and the spacesuits. I thought like it was a bit Machine Krieger, if you know what Machine Krieger is. Which is a Japanese thing about robots, about first kind of people in robotic suits and all that. I just thought, they look a bit like Riton just took a Machine Krieger model and just turned him into a monster of the week. You know, I didn't really like that. The Odin character wasn't all right though. That was kind of Chariot of the Gods and Alien trying to pose as a god, which is kind of it's a big theory. That was a good part of it. But as I said, I just thought generally overall, apart from that, it has a very good elements. So I'll give it that. But it was just a little bit too like Robots of Sherwood 2.0.
Okay. Well, we'll get into the second part next week and we'll see what PD thinks of the second one, and then we'll give an overall rating of both episodes as one story because it's one story. So that's what we'll do next week. But it will be interesting. If I remember correctly, I think I enjoyed the second episode a lot more than I enjoyed the first one. Anyway, so yeah, I do remember that. So I'm looking forward to the second episode because she's a bit devious, if I remember correctly.
In the highway person, doesn't she?
So she becomes, because
she hates the doctor at that point.
She hates the doctor, at that point, which we'll get into next week. But tomorrow I have a member stream. Don't forget to join us in Classic NuWhoZone. Tomorrow I'll be making that announcement about what story we're doing. The panel already know, but the rest of you will know by tomorrow. So look out for that. And then on Wednesday, we are back for Classic NuWhoZone, of course. And the panelists will be with me. And then on Friday, we have the Tarda Zone Talks. And then Friday nights is Friday Night Contact, 9 p.m. And those streams are starting to gather pace now. And people are starting to actually tune in. So we appreciate the support. We'll continue to do them. People are enjoying the Tarda Zone Talks with Christian as well. So that's pretty good, I have to say. So yeah, tune in for all of those. So I'll hand over to Charlotte. She'll do her channel shout outs, and then PD will do the same. And we'll wrap it up there for the night, folks.
Yeah, so you will catch me on the Spacebook. Last week we did sort of a special show about the Three Doctors. So there was a lot of reminiscing and memories, and on my end, actually, it was the first time I'd watched that story, so it was like sort of my fresher approach versus the lads who'd seen it lots. So you'll catch me on also on some of the podcasts. Last week, Dan put out when we reviewed The Unicorn and the Wasp as a podcast. So if you want to listen to me talk about that episode, you can, and you'll catch me here on New Who and Classic Who.
Fantastic. PD.
Well, if you've heard, Rabbi is running from his alternative channel at the moment due to a content strike. So you can catch me over there. I'm normally in a chat the weekends. Well, we used to do it on Saturday and Sunday, but it seems to be doing it on Saturday. So I'm over there. Catch Gobby Guy and Jack on their channel, their respective channels as well.
Fantastic. And we see the links there in the chat. So we'll leave it there, folks. We don't like to let these streams go on too long because we know everybody likes to chill out now for a couple of hours before people head to bed and stuff like that. So I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment because it helps the algorithm. Let us know your thoughts. If you haven't given your thoughts here, maybe give your thoughts in the comment section later on. That would be absolutely fantastic. And look out for that member stream tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, Classic NuWhoZone. And then Friday, Tarda Zone Talks at 5:45. And at 9 o'clock, then we have Friday Night Contact. So that's me for Monday. We will talk to you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. And, a lot of bullshit going on out there. So watch yourselves. Vegetables apparently disappeared off shelves and stuff. I have to be honest, I went down to get vegetables myself and they're gone all of a sudden. There was plenty 2 days ago, but now all of a sudden they're gone.
Creating demand,
something's not right, man. I smell a rat, but I'm not going to say anymore because you're conspiracy theorists if you say that nowadays. But I smell a rat.
Right, conspiracy theorist, aren't you?
But anyway, it's wreaking havoc because me and Cheryl have decided that we're going to actually go and eat healthy now, and now we're running out of
the worst timing.
I know, yeah. Jordan
timing.
So-called a veg shortage. Yeah. If anybody buys that, they can just feck off. Will you, man?
Nonsense.
Anyway, let's see. Before we wrap up, I see there's 5 comments, so I just want to see if we've forgotten anybody because you know me. Like to make sure we got everybody covered. Chris just letting everybody know. Have a great night. You too. And thanks everybody for tuning in anyway. And we will talk to you very soon. So we'll leave you with the New Who trailer. We'll talk to you tomorrow for that membership stream. So if you're a member, come and join. If you're not, please consider becoming a member. Go and check it out. See if it's something you're interested in. If so, then join. And I will see you tomorrow. For the rest of you, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
Good night.
Bye.